Hello, I am Sleepy, and welcome to my manga bookshelf tour. I am going to be doing a voiceover for a majority of this video because I am such an awkward human being. Fair note, sorry for later in the video when the video itself gets very shaky. I have zero upper body strength. So let's get into it. So first up we have my bottom left shelf, and this is where I keep all of my larger volumes of manga. Not only that, but I also have some figures on the shelf that I absolutely adore. Just like Nishinoya from Haikyuu, I love Haikyuu, I love Nishinoya, he is one of my favorite characters. I love his little spunky attitude. Don't mind that he's a tad bit dusty. Note to self, dust figures. And right behind Nishinoya is my JoJo's collection. Sorry for my hand, I actually don't know what I'm doing. Going back to JoJo's, I have part 1 of JoJo's all completed, and then I have 2 books for part 2, 2 books for part 3, 2 books for part 4, and funny enough, 2 books for part 5. And I'm sure that I don't need to explain JoJo's at all. It's a very popular series, and it has quickly become one of my own personal favorite mangas to collect. Behind my Ace and Luffy figure, I have Solo Leveling 1 through 4. That's all caught up. I love the art in this, and it is probably one of my favorite power fantasy stories. Here is a close-up of my Ace and Luffy figure. I got this figure for my birthday, and it's such a high-quality figure that I love so much. As you can see, right next to Solo Leveling, I have Beastars Book 1. I got this book free at a local manga shop, and that is the only reason why I have it. Here I have The Way of the House Husband 1 through 7, and it is one of my favorite comedy mangas that I currently own. After The Way of the House Husband, we have The Frog in the Well Does Not Know the Ocean. I am not going to be attempting the Japanese name, I don't want to butcher it. This 3-book manga series is basically about a mangaka that used to draw fantasy manga, but was recommended by his editor to draw slice of life, and in doing so, that slice of life manga that he drew became widely popular overnight, and it's him trying to accept the fact that he is now popular after 30 years of being unpopular. I really wanted to show you guys this Demon Slayer figure. I think it's so cute. It's Tanjiro eating onigiri, and he's just smiling away, and I love it so much. I want to collect the entire set. It's so cute. Here we have books 1 through 5 of Wotakoi, and unfortunately this set is incomplete because book 6 of Wotakoi, and I believe it's the final book, just recently came out. I want to showcase this manga cover because these two are my favorite couple in Wotakoi. I love each couple in Wotakoi, but those two were just my favorite. And finally, for this shelf, I have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, the Manga Classic Edition. If you don't know what Manga Classic is, it's a manga company that takes classic works of literature and just make it into a manga. I personally want the Hamlet one. I think Hamlet's my favorite Shakespeare, and I want to get it, but I love this company so much. I think it's such a great thing that they're doing. The next shelf over is what I would like to call my Boku no Hero shrine. I had an unhealthy obsession with Boku no Hero in high school, and clearly we can see who my 2 favorite were. But manga-wise, I am currently up to date with Boku no Hero Academia. I have all of the books. Also, sorry guys, please ignore my hands. I'm just showcasing everything that's there, and I need to stop. Also, excuse me for cutting back into the original audio for the video because I think I did a job explaining my own feelings about Boku no Hero currently. I am up to date with Boku no Hero. I have all the manga, and listen, I love Boku no Hero because I come from a family of like superhero nerds, and I think the concept of Boku no Hero is great, but whenever I see a new chapter online and I'm like, it's stressing me out to click on this, like I know we're in the final arc, we're in the final stretch, but my god, do I get such anxiety when I see that they have updated, and I don't know why, but I do, and maybe it's just because like I didn't like the direction how it went, but I am committed to collecting all of it because all in all, at the end of the day, I still love Boku no Hero. Hi guys, cutting back in, it's me, Editing Sleepy, and I'm going to just say that I have volumes 1 to 3 of Vigilantes. I cannot be bothered to buy the rest of it because currently all my money is pouring into another place. Here we have the My Hero Academia Ultra Analysis book. It's basically just a character sheet of every character in Boku no Hero. It's amazing and I love it. The cover's beautiful. I mean, look at those colors. Look at them. It's just an explosion of beauty. Yeah, no, this is my bad. I accidentally put Bungo Stray Dogs Beast #1 and Bungo Stray Dogs 1. I believe it's 1. Not next to Bungo Stray Dogs. I completely forgot they existed when I was trying to organize my manga shelf. And honestly, it's kind of alright that they're there because like I needed some filler books for that section, so yay, but like it's so unfortunate and I need to fix it so badly. And next to those two Forgotten Souls, we have Muscle. I always get this wrong. I always think it's Mashal, Muscles, and Magic because it just sounds so much better that way. But no, it's actually Mashal, Magic, and Muscle, and it always trips me up. Sorry for that tiny tirade, but I have Mashal 1 through 6. Currently, I believe it's all up to date. I love this series. It is so funny. It has like One Punch Man level of humor, but also the Disastrous Life of Psyche K level of humor, and I love those two series, so this one has a warm place in my heart. This is my most middle shelf, and here's where the bulk of my manga are. Starting off from left to right, we have Bungo Stray Dogs books 1 to 3, and I love Bungo Stray Dogs. I think it's such a great story. It's so unfortunate that my Barnes and Noble just doesn't have it. They have books 1, 2, and then bam, 20, 24 or something, and it's sad. It makes me sad because I want to buy more. Next is my prized possession. I've got Food Wars. I was actually gifted all of these volumes from my friend for my birthday. It's lovely. I love it. I love it so much. Food Wars is my favorite manga series. Yukihiro Soma is my top #1 husbando. Actually, I think it's probably better if I tell you the books that I'm missing. I'm missing 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11, and the rest I have, and so it's just eluding me from having a complete set, which is sad, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there eventually, and I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna love it, because it's one of my favorite manga series. Next, we have a series that I am committed to completing, Haikyuu. I have books 1 through 10, and I am ready to get all of them, to spend my money on this series, because it's one of my favorite sports manga series ever. And here is a shot of me explaining my pop figures on my manga. First we have Naruto, then Naruto in Sage Mode, then Shikamaru, my second husbando because I love him. Then we have Gaara from Naruto, Sabo from One Piece, and Grell from Black Butler. Happy in the background. And then we got some wristbands that I think one is Blue Exorcist and the other two are Attack on Titan. I don't know why I did this, but it needed to be done. Next, we have the manga in the background. These are the manga that I want to collect but are also not my top priority. Starting from left to right, we have Saint Young Men. Saint Young Men is a story about Buddha and Jesus living in an apartment in Japan together, and that's it. Next, we have Life Lessons because I am not going to pronounce the entire name because I am going to butcher it because I am American. Life Lessons is basically about this really depressed guy working with kids on a kids TV station. It's really funny because literally all the humor is very dark and depressing, and when you are in an area where you need to be very uplifting and upbeat because you are working with children. After Life Lessons, we have Heaven's Design Team. This is a manga that is about a team in heaven that is trying to come up with concepts for animals on Earth, and they try to talk it through. You'll find a lot of information about animals in this manga, and it's super cute. The art is adorable, however, it just wasn't my cup of tea. See, super cute art. It was just that I got a little bored reading it. I bet the second one is great. Here we have books 1 through 6 of Assassination Classroom. My friend actually gave me 1 through 5, and I quite enjoyed Assassination Classroom when I read it online, so I was like, alright, challenge accepted. I'll get the rest of the manga. And so far, I've gotten this far. It's not one of my most highest priority to gather, and it kind of bums me that I couldn't just get the box set, but I'll get there eventually. Next we have books 1 and 2 of the most underrated series that I have in my bookshelf, Servamp. I love Servamp. It's such a good series, highly underrated, and it needs to be appreciated more. My Barnes & Noble needs to carry more of their volumes besides 6, 13, and then something in the 20s, because oh my god, do I love this series. And I just need more volumes, and it's definitely going to be an online purchase. Like, it's going to be an online venture for that one. Next we have Nichijou, book 1. Nichijou is a satirical take on the slice of life genre. It's super funny. I haven't actually read it, but I have seen clips of the anime, so I know it's super, super funny. Next, I'm going to try to pronounce, I have only book 1 of this, but I believe it's called Hinamatsuri, and it is a book about a young alien girl ending up living with with a Yakuza member in his apartment, and just the shenanigans that can get from there. I haven't read it, so I can't really say anything about it, but I will read this soon. I didn't feel like reading it yet. Next we have No Game No Life, and I'm sure everyone here knows about No Game No Life, so it needs no introduction. I got this manga as a gift, and I haven't read it yet because honestly, I'm not a fan of the premise of No Game No Life, which is really weird because I'm into my isekai kick, but the premise still stands. After that, we have books 1, 2, and 3 of My Status as an Assassin Obviously Exceeds the Heroes, which is a mouthful, so you know it was a light novel before becoming a manga. Anyways, I have these 3 because I quite liked the plot at first when they were in the castle, and they just got to this new world, and the main character was, scurrying around like a little rat trying to figure out the dark secrets that the king and the princess weren't telling them. But then it got more into the basic isekai, and I didn't like it that much anymore, so I say go at your own risk. I personally wouldn't go out of my way to buy these 3 again if I had the choice, but they're in my library, so I have them, and it's just a reminder of what I've read. Oh yes, it's Haven't You Heard? I'm Sakamoto. If you don't know what Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto is, then you are living under a rock. Clearly, this is the most amazing, spectacular manga and anime series that I have ever seen in my entire life. So, Sakamoto is basically about this one guy called Sakamoto, and he is in high school. But the thing is, he is so perfect to the point that everyone around him is trying to basically prove him wrong and prove the fact that oh yeah, no, this guy isn't perfect. These girls shouldn't be swooning over him. I shouldn't be swooning over him. Then it's just such a great series. The chaos and shenanigans that come from it is amazing. Here we have the omnibus for One Piece, books 1, 2, and 3. And after that, we have Naruto, books 1, 2, and 3. And unfortunately for me, we have Kuroko no Basket, books 1 and 2. I am sure these series do not need any introduction, mostly One Piece and Naruto, but if you don't know what Kuroko no Basket is, it is basically a basketball anime and manga series that really took the world by storm. I mean, not slam dunk level, but a level. And it became one of the most famous sports manga and anime until it was overtaken by Haikyuu. Next, we have the case study of Vanitas. It's a newer manga series that is all about vampires and is from the author of The Pandora's Hearts. And yes, I'm going to be speedrunning this a little bit. Now we have Magi Book 1. I wanted to get it because I love the anime series. I love the anime series. I love Sinbad. He is my favorite. Oh my god, I'm a sim for him. Then we have Attack on Titan. I'm sure everyone knows the series. And Hunter x Hunter is next. And I'm sure everyone knows this series. Alright, now I can take a breath. We have next Oharu X Machine Gun. This is basically about a girl who has been dressed as a guy for school. I don't remember the reason why, but she has to go to a host club because she owes them something, and it's funny. I haven't read this in a long time. All right, forgive me, but she has to join the paintball tournament, and the main host guy doesn't realize that she's a girl, and shenanigans from there. I mean, quickly they realize she's a girl, and just romance and paintball is essentially it. My god, I'm so sorry for that terrible summary of Oharu X Machine Gun. I promise you it's good, but just my god, that was awful. I listened to it back. I'm so sorry. Swiftly moving on. We have Chainsaw Man Book 1. I only read Book 1 of Chainsaw Man, so I can't really say anything. I didn't particularly like the main character, but I understand him. He's a simple man. He has simple needs. But I'm probably going to read this later on, if I'm being honest. I only have book 1. And then after that, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I did not finish reading it. I have not gotten up to Jujutsu Kaisen. And I haven't finished the anime. So my opinions on Jujutsu Kaisen are very limited. But I have books 1 and 2, and I really like the covers. I think they're really, really pretty. I love the colors that they play on, and they're just nice quality manga. Bam! Alright, we moved up a level in the world. That's great for us. Next, I have books 1, 2, and 9 of Black Clover. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how I got this book 9. I don't remember how I got it, why I have it. I usually collect manga in order, so book 9 being here is kind of a little wacky, not gonna lie. Liked Black Clover. I got caught up, then I just stopped reading it, but I heard that, some arcs are pretty wild and wacky, and I should get caught up to reading it. Listen. Alright, listen. It was my middle school phase, alright? Middle school, when I first got into anime and manga, and that is why I have 2 books of Black Butler, book 1 and book whatever the next one is, because I do not know my Roman numerals. Alright, let me defend myself for a minute, okay? The Black Butler anime, season 1 was great. Season 2 was god-awful, alright? And then the Book of Circus, I think House of Murder, or Book of Murder or something, they were all great, okay? It was just season 2 that killed everyone from Black Butler. I'm being honest. Okay, alright. After that, we have Are You Alice, book 1 and 2. I don't know if I have everything of this series. Probably not. But from what I remember, and this was a while back, okay? This was, let me dig in the deepest, darkest trenches of my mind to get this book. Alright, there was the Alice of this series is a male, and everyone was like, oh my god, a male Alice, and everyone's freaking out. And that's all I've got. That's really all I have for you. I just remember it was a little bit more on the darker side. There's a lot more murder, a little bit more gore, if I'm being honest. It was a very dark themed manga. I still say if you like that stuff, check it out. Then right next to that, we have 2 very famous works of literature. We have Death Note Book 1 and Fairy Tail Book 1. I am sure neither of these series have to be addressed. I mean, it's Death Note and Fairy Tail for Pete's sake. Here is an overview of my topmost middle shelf. As you can see, I have my Pokemon Pop figures and Shikamaru Nara figurine. Or figure. As per usual, we are going from left to right, and first off we have Millennium Snow books 1 through 4, and it is complete. This is funny enough, this is my first completed series that I ever had. 4 volumes, so it's not too bad. It's a basic vampire story, that's all I can really tell you. It's cute. Next, I have High School Debut, books 1 and 1. Alright, so I actually bought book 1 first at Barnes & Noble when I believe it was first coming about, if I'm thinking correctly. Maybe, I could be lying on that one. But recently, my friend actually gave me High School Debut because they didn't want it anymore. I was like, oh, I don't remember if I actually have this book in my library. Let me just take it. And it's an ex-library cover as well, so it's pretty swifty. After that, we have a voiceover book books 1 through 5. This is now completed. Voiceover goes to book 12, and I want to get all of it because I was obsessed with this series. I loved it in middle school. So basically, the premise is there's this girl that really wants to be a voice actor for a magical girl. She wants to be a magical girl voice actor. Unfortunately, her voice sounds like a guy. So she has to deal with the fact that she's only being casted for guy characters, but that's not her dream. So she's gonna find her way around that. And you just chuck romance into there, and it's just a piece of work, you know? Moving right along, we have 2 volumes of, and I'm going to try to pronounce this, Kenka Bansho Otome. I think that's the correct pronunciation, but I could be entirely wrong. Alright, so the premise of this manga, and you're going to see a theme here with a lot of my romance manga, okay? So don't be surprised, but the premise of this manga is there's a girl who is mistaken for a guy and she has to go to an all-boys school. But I think I'm wrong in that sentiment as well, so look it up. I believe it's cute. It's based off an Otome game. You know it's gonna be interesting. Next, we have Kiss Him, Not Me. And if you don't know what this series is, oh boy. This is a story about a fujoshi, and if you don't know what a fujoshi is, I recommend you to look it up. But it's basically about a girl who really likes BL, and she's kind of overweight, but then she becomes really slimmer, and then everyone's like, oh my god, you're so pretty, and they try to fight for her love. It's basically it. That's basically the premise. I only have 1 book. I haven't finished it. I would really like to finish it though. It's my cup of tea kind of story. And it's really funny. It's super funny. Next, we have an oldie but a goodie. Alright, we have Magic Touch. If you don't know what Magic Touch is, and I would not be surprised because, again, it's old. Magic Touch, sorry for the zoom in actually. I think I dropped the camera as I was doing this, but Magic Touch is basically about a girl who is part of the masseuse club at her school, and she has an evil twin sister, and they're all trying to go after the same guy. Very cute. I love it a lot. Next, we have books 1, 2, and 3 of Manga Dogs, which is a reverse harem of a female mangaka and just these boys that are really interested in her manga. Unfortunately though, my dog did get at the cover and spine of book 3, so it's pretty much an L on that front. Now for the longest name in my collection, and which has probably have been a light novel beforehand, but I was reincarnated as the villainess in an Otome game, but the boys love me anyway. If I'm being honest, this is the manga that really got me into isekai. This is what got me down the isekai hole, if I'm being honest. Oh no. The story basically revolves around what the title says. That is the entire plot. And it is very cute on how they go about it. I recommend if you like this kind of genre. Next, I have volumes 1 through 4 of Horimiya. I believe that's how you pronounce it, or I could be wrong. Horimiya, if you don't know, it's a very popular romance series. I think it's a romantic comedy, but I'm not quite sure on that. It's basically about a guy and a girl who act a certain way in school, but once they're out of school, they are 2 totally different people, and they meet each other and realize, oh, you're not like you are in school, and try to protect each other's secret because they don't want anyone else at school to know. And next we have books 1 through 3 of Fire Force. I knew when I first read this, when it first came out, that this was going to be a big series, and it eventually did, so props to me. But as I got older and as I started to reread it from my initial first take, I started to not like some of the things that presented in the manga, and that's where my faults with this lie. I don't want to get really into it, why I don't like it that much, but all I'm saying is that I'm just gonna have these 3. It's a filler for my romance because I didn't want it to be I didn't want to have space up there because space bugs me because I feel like I gotta fill it, you know what I mean? Next is Skip and Loafer, books 1 through 4, and it's killing me because I don't think I'm caught up to date. Currently, I don't think I'm caught up to date with this manga series, and that is killing me because this is such a cute series. It is so amazing. I love the relationships and everything in there. It's the best. I highly recommend this to anyone that just wants to read a cute romance, like not even a romance story, just a cute slice of life that you will love the characters no matter what. Okay, let me get this out of the way. The next 3 books are all like isekai books, and it's hard to say. Like they're all just basic isekai books of a female going into this other world, and she's either the villainess or the saintess, and she is trying to just blend into the background, essentially. Out of all these those 3 books, I believe the middle one about the bookstore, that one is the best. I highly recommend that one out of all 3. Alright, now we are going to be taking a ride into BL territory now. If any of you don't know what BL stands for Boys Love, or it's better known in the community as yaoi, even though there's a whole history behind the term, but for now, BL. Now, one of the forefathers of BL manga, the world's greatest first love. Funny enough, my friend gave me this for my birthday, so that was a fun time. Next is books 2 and 5 of one of my favorite BL series, Candy Color Paradox. If you don't know what the series is, oh my god, it is so cute. It's basically about 2 reporters getting together and shenanigans ensue because they're reporters, and it's the cutest thing. I cannot recommend this series enough. And for our last volume in the BL department, we have, and I am going to attempt to pronounce this, Sasaki and Mayano, book 1, volume 1. Very cute. It's such a cute series. It's basically about a boy who is a fudanshi. If you don't know what fudanshi is, it's just a boy who likes BL, and he shares his BL with a classmate of his, and things slowly progress from there. After my very small BL section, we have books 1 through 5 of Pandora's Heart. Or, I said that wrong. Pandora's Hearts! Oh no, I got it wrong. Pandora Hearts is something that I really wanted to get into when I was younger. I really wanted to force myself to enjoy the manga and to collect it all. Unfortunately, that never happened. So, I think it was just because I was younger and it wasn't something for me, but now that I'm older, I'll probably like it a little bit more. I don't know, I have to see. I have to go back and actually fully read through it because I never finished it, but it is in my romance section because I needed a placeholder. It has some romantic elements, but I needed a placeholder. And finally, for this section, we have these 2 manga that I actually didn't like at all. The first one is called The Prince and His Dark Days. This is basically about this abused girl who stumbles onto this really rich boy's life and figures out his secret that he likes to cross-dress, and his personal team make a deal with her to switch lives because they look remarkably similar. And the next one is called Complex Age. Complex Age is basically about a woman who is nearing her, I think, early 30s, late 20s, somewhere around that time, and she likes to cosplay as this magical girl. However, as she goes to conventions more and more as she ages, she starts to get this feeling that she is unwanted there because of her age, and people start to make fun of her for cosplaying as a magical girl when she doesn't look like this girl at all. And it takes this really creepy turn where she like tries her best to look exactly like this animated character, and it gave me such bad vibes. I mean, don't get me wrong, both gave me such creepy vibes, and the only reason why I have these 2 in my library is because I took a chance, I took a risk, and I lost greatly. I got these both at a local manga shop, and I thought the plots seemed very interesting, but unfortunately when I read through them, I didn't quite like them at all. Finally, and I mean finally, we are on the last shelving unit. Let's go! Starting from left to right, we have Cardcaptor Sakura, the collector's edition. I love Cardcaptor Sakura. Okay, this is my childhood. Some people had Tokyo Mew Mew, some people had Sailor Moon. I had Cardcaptor Sakura. I mean, look at this cover. Look how gorgeous it is. I think the collector's edition is the collection of the movie in manga form, and I'm so happy. I love it. I want to collect them all. They're a little bit expensive, but this is my childhood. This is my nostalgia factor kicking in. Then right next to that, we have my Demon Slayer shrine. We've got Inosuke, we've got Gyu, we've got Tanjiro 2 times, and then we got that beautiful, beautiful box set in the back. Oh, I love it. I love the entire manga series. I love this series, okay? I know some people are like, Demon Slayer's mid. You know what? You might think Demon Slayer is mid, but it's beautiful in my heart, okay? I love it. I love it. I love Demon Slayer because of the characters. I think the characters is what makes the show, the manga. I mean, the animation really does make the show, but the characters, it's the characters. It's one of my favorite series. It's probably one of my favorite animes currently, and I love it. I eat it up. Anything Demon Slayer content, I'll just eat up. I really want to showcase all the manga, but unfortunately, I really don't have anywhere to put the box of the box set, so it's gonna stay like this for now. Next is a manga that I think that not a lot of people know about. It's called The Case Files of the Jeweler Richard. I believe that is the name. This is a very cute series. It's about a boy who comes across this really interesting foreigner who happens to be a jeweler, and he sets an appointment to talk to the jeweler about his grandmother's, I believe it was a ring, his grandmother's ring. He then tells the jeweler the history about the ring, and then it comes into full circle and a resolution happens about the ring, and it kind of brings his family together. And then afterwards he actually becomes a worker under the jeweler, and then the shenanigans ensue from there. It's very cute, very wholesome. My god, this guy needs to take a hint. I hope if you read it, you know he needs to take a hint. But this is a very cute series. Overall, I actually really do recommend it, and it has a lot of interesting facts about jewelry. Next, we have 2 manga that I had no idea existed until I watched the manga tour video, and I knew immediately when I saw them. I went on to Amazon and grabbed those 2, put them in my cart, I immediately bought them. There was no way on earth that these 2 would not be in my library the minute I knew they existed. First, we have Book 1 of The Great Pretender. If you don't know what The Great Pretender is, you are living under a rock. Get out of that rock and actually go on Netflix, okay? Because this is actually an anime. The Great Pretender was first a Netflix original anime that was recently released as a manga, and I have Book 1. Oh yeah. The anime was amazing. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was so good, so suspenseful. Like, you literally got wrapped up in the story. The story is basically a ragtag group of con artists that con from the bad rich and give to themselves. And maybe the poor, but mostly to themselves. And the other one that I am super hyped to have is Demon Slayer Book of Fire and Water. Or Water and Fire. Honestly, I don't have the book in front of me, and the words on the screen are just too small for my puny little eyes to actually read. But this is a side book for the Demon Slayer series that goes more in depth into Rengoku and Gyu's backstories in a sense. This was drawn by a different artist, but they worked in relations with the actual writer of Demon Slayer, so it's canon, alright? It's a canon book. And this is really why I want to get my Demon Slayer series, my Demon Slayer books out of the book set, so I can have them all in a line and it'll look beautiful and stunning, but I just don't have enough space, so that's the L that I have to take and live with until I get a bigger bookshelf. Now, I know you can't quite see it that well. It's a little bit too shiny, but the next one is The Heroic Legend of Arslan. This was created by the same creator as Full Metal Alchemist, and I love this series. I love this series so much. This is something that I want to collect. There are 16 books out so far, and I want to get all 16. It's a great series. The anime is really good until the end. I think the ending was a little bit rushed for the anime, but that is just me. Or I could be entirely wrong. It's been a few years since I've watched the anime, so I could be wrong, but I love this series. It has a special place in my heart. Next is book 1 of Sakamoto Days, and honestly, it's pretty fun. If you don't know what Sakamoto Days is, it's basically about this the world's greatest assassin that retired, started a family, have a wife and daughter, and his past is now slowly creeping up on him, and he has to deal with all of that. He owns a convenience store, and he's just trying to make a living for himself, despite, once being the world's greatest assassin. The comedy in it is great, the action in it is amazing, and I think you would very much enjoy. It has themes like the way the house has been in retrospect of them having a very dangerous and violent past job, and then now they're just trying to be more mundane in their current lives. Now we have a title that I'm going to embarrass myself over with trying to pronounce. Alright, bear with me. We have Nyankees. I think that's it, Nyankees. It's book 1, and this is basically about just showing the lives of street cats and, like how it is when they're in a group and, when street cats fight and how they get food. But the twist on it is that each cat is drawn like a human. So like you're seeing like humans fight the heck out of each other in broad daylight, and no one's saying anything because it's about cats. It's cute. It's very cute. I love it. It's just really cute. If you love cats, if you like anything about them, this is it. Now we have the ever so popular Spy Family. Spy X Family. I don't know how you like to say it. I mean, I feel like Spy X Family just sounds a little bit cooler, but then we have the Hunter situation where it's like Hunter X Hunter, and if you say X and Hunter X Hunter, then you're just a dummy. So we have Spy X Family, and you know it, you love it. It's amazing. It's truly what the found family trope is all about, and it's just great. I really want to get all caught up with having this series in my library. I want to be all caught up to date. However, I have no monies, so if you like this video and you want me to buy more manga, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That segue was so bad. But you know this, you know it, you love it. Spy X Family is all the rage, and it's, so well deserved. It's such a well deserved hype manga. Next, we have our very own Work with a Mouth manga. Okay, this is Deadpool Samurai books 1 and 2. They are the only 2 that are in this series, and it is just a bundle of laughs. Okay, I laughed so hard every time I read it, every time I looked at it. The manga is hysterical. It's great. You get to see not only Deadpool but all of your favorite Marvel superheroes and even supervillains. All right, this is pure gold. I say that about a lot of things, but I mean it this time. Now we have books 1 to 3 of Dr. Stone, and let me just say, I really love Dr. Stone. I need to finish it. I know the manga has finished, and I want to collect all of them. 21, 22 books so far. Doesn't seem so bad, plus, the dad's side story book. I'm down to get it. I love Dr. Stone. I think the concept of Dr. Stone is really cool. All of the characters are really interesting, and I can't wait to finish it. This is a great story. Now going back for a bit, because I don't want to give the grand reveal just yet, but here is the other manga classic that I had. Unfortunately, I couldn't put the 2 manga classics together because I didn't have enough room, but here is Les Miserables, and I think I said it right. I went with it on that one. I didn't even care about pronunciation. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's a classic work of literature, and it's by Victor Hugo, a very famous French book, and here it is in manga form. I loved reading this. I cried to it. That's how you know the story is good. Now for my other pride and joy, okay, because Food Wars is definitely one of my main pride and joys, but this is my pride and joy, because instead of getting gifted this manga set, I bought it with myself, my own hard-earned cash, okay? That's why this makes me happy. I have almost every volume up to date of One Punch Man. All I am is missing book 21, and let me tell you on how tragic that is, because it keeps me up at night. I actually stare at the ceiling, dying inside because I don't have this manga. I want to get this manga at a Barnes & Noble. I want to walk out with the physical copy in hand and just feel oh so good because I have completed One Punch Man. This is probably my favorite manga series. I love it so much. It's so funny. The art is so amazing. The story is so good, and just everything about One Punch Man is a work of art. All right, this is probably a modern classic. It's just such a good series, and I highly recommend it. It's the best. Now for a little overview of everything that I have on top of One Punch Man. I have my little plant that my sister got me for my birthday. It's fake, of course. And then I have Open Eye from Demon Slayer, and he's eating onigiri, and it's so cute. Finally, it's complete. Just to let you know, this took so long to edit. It took a day to film, but it took so much more to edit. But yeah, I'm so happy that this is done. This is my manga shelf. Actually, from the time it took to actually finish this this video, I have bought a lot more manga that I would like to share, and I bought some more like a figure more, and I love to share it with you guys probably at a later date because my goodness, this took a while. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to hear more about manga. I'm probably just going to post the videos anyways, but I do appreciate some feedback. And have a nice day. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay sleepy. I'll catch you next time. Listen. I have 2 volumes of Black Clover. Book 1 and book whatever the next one is. Not Black Clover. Oh my god, I said Black Clover. I mean, oh my god. I mean Black Butler. Oh.